Coming up next on BGSU Brain Game, it is Put-in-Bay versus St. Francis. I have a feeling this is going to be a thump down of the thinkers. Only one team. That's right, one team can leave victorious. Who's it going to be? Only one way to find out. BGSU's Brain Game starts right now. And welcome to BGSU Brain Game. It is Put-in-Bay versus St. Francis. Let's meet our teams. Starting with St. Francis. Tell us who you are.
I'm Justin Dries, sophomore. To my left is Luke Moeller, sophomore. And to my right is Bryson Richards, senior. We are coached by Mrs. Haley Sharp.
All right, welcome to St. Francis. Put-in-Bay, tell us who you are.
I'm Ellen Michael, junior. To my left is Elias Wright, sophomore. And to my right is Joseph Blumenstadt, who is also a junior.
And who's your coach?
Mrs. Rentz.
All right, welcome to Put-in-Bay and welcome to St. Francis. We're going to start things off in our toss-up round. There are 10 questions in this round. They are 10 points apiece. No deduction for an incorrect answer, so you can be a little bit looser on your buzzers. You may confer before buzzing in, and you can, I repeat, you can steal a question in this round. All right, Put-in-Bay, St. Francis, here we go. Sometimes referenced as the Venice of the North because of its many canals, this city was once the capital of Russia and remains an important cultural center. That would be St. Francis. Justin?
St. Petersburg.
Correct. Next question. Identify the U.S. constitutional amendment that directs the terms of the president and vice president to end, that would be St. Francis. Justin?
25th.
Incorrect. To end at noon on the 20th day of January. Put-in-Bay, would you like to steal? That would be Emil.
21st.
Incorrect. Close. It's the 20th Amendment. Although adequate vitamin D aids the body in absorbing calcium, which gland produces the hormone calcitonin that aids in its long-term storage in the body? This gland is most often associated with metabolism. That would be St. Francis. Justin?
Thyroid.
Thyroid is indeed correct. Jump in when you can identify this Pulitzer Prize-winning fiction author, nicknamed Papa, owned homes in Key West and Cuba, created the character Santiago, and that would be St. Francis. Justin?
Quelo.
Incorrect. Committed suicide in Idaho in 1961. Put-in-Bay, would you like to steal? That would be Emil.
Ernest Hemingway.
That is correct. Next question. In the Middle Ages, what type of entertainer did a ruler keep in court to tell jokes? That would be St. Francis. Justin?
Jester.
That is correct. It is indeed a jester. In economics, the two formulas used in an attempt to measure the market value of all goods and services produced for final sale in an economy are GNP and GDP. For what do these two acronyms stand? That will be St. Francis. Bryson?
Gross national product and gross domestic product.
Correct. Identify the mythological youth whose punishment from Nemesis was falling in love with his own reflection in a pool. That would be St. Francis. Justin?
Narcissus.
Narcissus is correct. Although many details of the government established by the U.S. Constitution draw from the influence of British law, from which ancient republic did the framers of the Constitution borrow ideas of checks and balances? That would be Put-in-Bay. Emil?
Greece.
That would be incorrect. St. Francis, would you like to steal? That would be Luke.
Rome.
Rome is what we were looking for there. Yes. In a plant's root system, through which types of tubular tissues do water and dissolved minerals travel up to the plant? Time. That would be xylem is what we needed there. The Mekong River in China empties into what body of water? That would be St. Francis. Bryson?
The South China Sea.
Correct. That is all 10 questions in this toss-up round. Let's take a look at our score. We have Put-in-Bay with 10 points, and currently in the lead is St. Francis with 70 points. Stay tuned. Our risk and reward round is coming up next. Stay tuned. welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. This is our risk and reward round. We have St. Francis with 70 points, Put-in-Bay at 10. This is how it's going to break down. There are 10 questions in this round. They're 10 points apiece, no deduction for an incorrect answer. There is an 11th question, which is our risk and reward question. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments based upon a topic that we give you. However, an incorrect answer will result in negative points, or you can simply pass. St. Francis, since you are at 70 points, you will be staying here, and that means Put-in-Bay, you're off to isolation. All right, St. Francis, are you ready for your risk and reward questions? All right, it starts right now. To whom does the CIA report? That would be Luke.
The president?
Incorrect. Director of National Intelligence, who then reports to the president. Identify the author of the classic adventure that features an Irish orphan who wanders the streets of India and eventually becomes a famous spy. Its title is Kim. That would be Justin.
Oliver.
Incorrect. Rudyard Kipling is what we needed there. Underdeveloped or emerging countries that lack well-developed infrastructures such as roads, bridges, and water sources, and have a high infant death rate, are also known by what ordinal number? That would be Justin.
Third world.
That is correct. Third world. This art movement was characterized by the view that art should be non-representational. By what two-word phrase was the movement known that includes artists William de Kooning and Jackson Pollock? That would be Luke.
Pop art.
Excuse me?
Abstract art.
Oh, abstract art.
What was the first answer?
First answer was pop art.
Pop art, then we're going to have to accept that as an incorrect answer. Next question, spell misspelled. That will be Justin.
M-I-S-S-P-E-L-L-E-D.
Correct. Beginning in the mid-16th century, the oldest sports trophy in the world are the Carlisle Bells. For which sport is it related to? That would be Justin.
Golf.
Horse racing, actually. What is the largest meat-eating land mammal on Earth? That would be Justin.
Hippo.
He got it in time, right? Okay, that will be polar bear, actually. What are the names of the first and second numbers in a blood pressure reading? That would be Justin.
Systolic and diastolic.
Correct. Australia's Uluru is the largest of these rock formations in the world. Or Uluru, excuse me. That will be Justin.
Plateau.
Incorrect. Monoliths. All right, this is our risk and reward question. The category is the Electoral College. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments. Would you like to take a risk or would you like to pass?
We'll bet 25.
25 on Electoral College. Here is the question. The president is chosen by the 538 members of the Electoral College. How many votes are needed to win?
269. 270.
That would be Justin.
270.
270 is correct. That's plus 25 points for you. That is the end of the risk and reward round. It is now time for you to head off that direction for isolation. All right, let's bring back in Put-in-Bay. Welcome back, Put-in-Bay. How was isolation?
Great.
Everything you hoped it would be and more, I'm sure. All right, are you ready for your risk and reward round?
Yeah.
All right, starts right now. To whom does the CIA report? Sorry, time. The Director of National Intelligence is what we were looking for there. Identify the author of the classic adventure that features an Irish orphan who wanders the streets of India and eventually becomes a famous spy. Its title is Kim. Time. Rudyard Kipling is what we were looking for there. Underdeveloped or emerging countries that lack well-developed infrastructures such as roads, bridges, and water sources, and have a high infant death rate are also known by what ordinal number? That would be Emil.
3.
Will we accept that? 3? Third? Yep, we'll accept that, she says. This art movement was characterized by the view that art should be non-representational. By what two-word phrase was this movement known that includes artist Willem de Kooning and Jackson Pollock? Emil.
Abstract art.
Will we accept just abstract? We will not. We need abstract expressionism. Spell the word misspelled. Emil.
MISSPELLED.
Correct. Beginning in the mid-16th century, the oldest sports trophy in the world are the Carlisle Bells. For which sport is it related to? That will be Emil.
Is it sailing?
Incorrect. Horse racing, actually. What is the largest meat-eating land mammal on Earth? Time. The polar bear. What are the names of the first and second numbers in a blood pressure reading? Time. Systolic and diastolic. Australia's Uluru is the largest of these rocks formations in the world. Australia's Uluru is the largest of these rock formations in the world. That would be Emil.
Flat-topped rock.
Will we accept that? No. We cannot accept that. Monoliths is what we needed there. This is our risk and reward question. The category is electoral college. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments. A reminder, you will lose those points with an incorrect answer, or you may simply pass.
Yeah, we'll risk it for 20 points.
Going up to 20 points for Put-in-Bay. Category Electoral College. The president is chosen by the 538 members of the Electoral College. How many votes are needed to win? That will be Emil.
271.
Incorrect. 270. 270. That is negative 20 points for you, and that is the end of the risk and reward round for you. It is now time to clear our scores, and let's bring back in St. Francis. Welcome back from isolation. We are going to now reveal our scores to our two teams so they can see where they stand. We're going to start off with St. Francis. You stand at 125 points, and Put-in-Bay stands at 10 points. That's right, St. Francis went for it, got it correct. Unfortunately for Put-in-Bay, went for it, 20 points, got it wrong. But things can change very, very quickly. Why? Because our category round is coming up next, where questions can be worth as much as 30 points and deductions start. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. It is Put-in-Bay at 10 with St. Francis at 125. And it looks like St. Francis has a substitution. Justin, tell us who's joined your team.
To my left is Jordan Easton, freshman.
All right, welcome to you. Put-in-Bay staying with their lineup from the last round. This is our category round. This is where the power shifts a little bit to our teams. There are 6 categories to choose from. Inside each category are questions worth 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points. But I must warn you, that's right, deductions start now. Bum, bum, bum. That's right. If you go for 15, you're risking 15 points. There is one double or nothing question in there, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to be worth double the points, but no negative consequences. All questions are open to all buzzers, and Put in Bay, since you have 10 points, you get to make the first selection.
Okay, we'll do a where is it for 30.
Where is it for 30? Name the city, state, or county at the location or of the location described. Country, not county, country. What country is home to Ayers Rock? That would be St. Francis. Bryson.
Australia.
Australia is correct. St. Francis takes control.
We'll take where is it for 25?
Where is it for 25 points? What African country is home to the city of Durban? That would be Put in Bay. Emil.
South Africa.
Correct. Control goes back to Put in Bay.
We'll take a where is it for 20.
Where is it for 20 points? What city is home to St. Basil's Cathedral? That would be Put in Bay. Emil.
Moscow.
Moscow is correct. In control, Put in Bay.
And where is it for 15?
Where is it now for 15 points? What country is home to the CN Tower? Put in Bay. Emil.
Canada.
Canada is correct. Put in Bay making a move. In control.
And where is it for 10?
Where is it for 10? Finishing off this category. In what state is Crater Lake located? Put in Bay. Emil.
Oregon.
Oregon is correct. Put in Bay in control.
We'll do a solve me for 30.
Solve me for 30 points. Subtract 5 from the square root of 169. That will be St. Francis. Justin.
8.
Correct. St. Francis back in control.
Solve me 25.
Solve me for 25 points. What is 90% of 4,000? That would be St. Francis. Justin.
3,600.
Correct. St. Francis making a move and in control.
Solve me for 20.
Solve me now for 20 points. What is the value of 49 to the 1/2 power? St. Francis. Justin.
7.
Correct. St. Francis in control.
Solve me for 15.
Now for 15, solve me. What is 2/5 of 200? St. Francis. Justin.
80.
80 is correct. St. Francis in control.
Finish off solve me.
Finishing solve me for 10 points. What is 120% of 30? That would be St. Francis. Justin.
36.
Correct. That finishes off that category. St. Francis in control.
Decade what for 20?
Decade what for 20 points? I will give you an event in history. You tell me what decade occurred. Answers would be in the form of 1820s, 1930s, and so forth. Chuck Yeager breaks the sound barrier. That would be St. Francis. Justin.
1940s.
Correct. St. Francis still in control.
Decade what for 25?
Decade what now for 25 points? Bowling Green State University was founded. No pressure here. That would be Put in Bay. Emil.
1870s.
Incorrect. St. Francis, would you like to steal?
No.
They are saying no. 1910s. 1910s. Let's see. St. Francis still in control.
We'll take decade what for 30?
Decade what for 30 points? The traffic light was invented by Lester Wire. That was again 1910s, 1912 to be specific. All right, St. Francis in control.
Decade what, 15?
Decade what for 15 points? When did the Lewis and Clark expedition take place? That would be Put in Bay. Emil.
The first decade of the 1800s.
Will we accept that? Yes, we will. Put in Bay in control.
Decade what for 10?
Finishing off decade what? Benjamin Franklin proved that lightning and electricity are the same thing. Time. That was way back in the 1750s. Put in Bay in control.
Science with I.
For which category? How much?
25.
Science I for 25. Identify each of the following terms from science. All answers begin with the letter I. Type of solution in which the concentration of dissolved substance in the solution is equal to the concentration of dissolved substances. That would be St. Francis. Justin?
Isotonic.
Isotonic is what we were looking for there. Yes. St. Francis back in control.
Science I 30.
Science I now for 30 points. Portion of the shoreline that lies between high tide and low tide lines. Time. Intertidal is what we needed there. St. Francis still in the driver's seat.
Science I for 20.
Science I now for 20 points. To breathe in air. That would be St. Francis. Justin?
Inhale.
Inhale, correct. St. Francis in control.
Science I 15.
Science I now for 15 points. Muscle type whose contractions are not under conscious control. That would be St. Francis. Jordan?
Involuntary.
Involuntary is correct. St. Francis still in control.
Science I 10.
Science I now for 10 points. The scientific study of ideas and ideals. This field of study also considers the study of its origin, recognized by a person or group of persons. That's the end of that question and the end of that category. The answer was ideology. All right, let's take a look at our score. We have Put-in-Bay with 70 points, and with a commanding lead is St. Francis with 335 points, but it's not over yet. That's right, our brainstorm round is coming up next. Each question worth 20 points, negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. Still anybody's game. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. Put-in-Bay 70, St. Francis with 335 points. Put-in-Bay staying with their lineup from the last round. St. Francis looks like another substitution. Who's joined the team?
To my right is Zach Davidson, freshman.
All right, welcome to you. This is the brainstorm round. All questions in this round are worth 20 points apiece, negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, but no stealing. I repeat, no stealing in this round. Put-in-Bay, are you ready? St. Francis, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Brain game timer starts right now. What is the term for the astronomical event that occurs when the moon passes between the Earth? That would be St. Francis. Zach?
Solar eclipse.
Solar eclipse is correct. Zeus is to Greek mythology as Odin is to what? That would be St. Francis. Justin?
Norse mythology.
Norse mythology is correct. What respiratory structure lies between the larynx and the bronchi? Time. That would be the trachea. In physics, what was the original name for the device that transformed mechanical energy into electrical energy? Time. Dynamo. If Jim ordered 6 large pizzas, how many people can he serve one slice to if he cuts each in 1/8? That would be St. Francis. Justin?
48.
Correct. Name the only person to be awarded 2 individual Nobel Prizes. The Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1954 and the Nobel Peace Prize that would be St. Francis. Justin?
Pauling.
Pauling is correct. What do microbiologists call bacterium that is shaped like a rod? Time. Bacillus is what we needed there. At which temperature are the Celsius and Fahrenheit scales? St. Francis. Justin?
Negative 40.
Negative 40 is correct. Some animals endure the heat of summer by passing through which dormant state that conserves energy? St. Francis. Jordan?
Hibernation.
Incorrect. Estivation is what we needed there. Which South American nation can claim that it exports more coffee beans than any other nation in the world? Put-in-Bay.
Colombia?
Incorrect. Brazil. As what part of speech can an infinitive be used? That would be St. Francis. Justin.
Noun.
Incorrect. Adverb. In a body of water, especially lakes, what type of visual marker is used to warn boats and ships of dangerous regions? Or that would be St. Francis. Zach.
A buoy?
A buoy is correct. What type of word puzzles take the letters of one word and uses them to create another word? That would be St. Francis. Justin.
Anagram.
Anagram is what we wanted there, yes. What word begins with the letter M, means the complete control of something, especially the supply of a product? Did it get in time? Negative. That would be monopoly. Let's take a look at our score. Put-in-Bay with 50 points, and our winner with 435 points is St. Francis. Let's give both these teams a big round of applause. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, we're going to meet in the middle, shake hands, and we'll see you at the next BGSU Brain Game.